So, good morning, good morning, good morning. This morning, I want to talk to you about the power of your words. How are you using your words, particularly in your marriage and in your relationships? Are you using your words to build up your partner or your spouse, or are you using your words to tear them down? Listen, nothing has ever gotten better by with insults and um, throwing daggers at a person. When you think about great people in the world, the Martin Luther Kings or, um, I dare not name a president. But when you think about the great people of this world, people who've done really amazing things for others, and I like Oprah Winfrey, I know people don't, but people who have just shown to have been kind or to have given a lot of their life to help other people. Do you think they became that person because they was um dagger people use words to down them and make them feel like nothing, and so their shame made them better? Or do you think it was people encouraging them and empowering them to become who they became? I believe the latter. I believe we become better when we feel encouraged and empowered, and we are told maybe things about ourselves that we can't see, the good things about ourselves that we can't see. The other day I was watching this podcast about with a couple, and she said, I would just wanted my husband to see himself the way me and God saw him. And so she began to use words to affirm her husband so that he can see himself the way she saw him. Many of us have insecurities, like we all do. It's not just a small few. We all have moments. The difference, I think, a lot of times is there are those of us who are overly consumed with our insecurities. And then there are those of us who have moments of insecurity. Those of us who recognize that the thoughts and the feelings, they change, they go away, or we begin to do things to shift the thoughts and feelings. One of the greatest things you can do when you're feeling down, when your mind is consumed with self doubt and worry, hurt, frustration, you're meditating on the things in your life that are not going right. One of the things you can do is to go into gratitude. I did a video the other day on the power of gratitude. Just stop your mind from thinking the horrible, negative things about your spouse, about yourself, and be grateful. Start thinking about the fact that there are so many people who want to be married that aren't, right? So be grateful that you have a spouse, not from a arrogant space, but just be simply grateful. I'm grateful that I have a person to do life with. The other way to shift out of that mindset of negativity is read. Read. Find you something to read, and it will immediately take your mind off of you into someone else's thoughts and lift you up out of that place you're in. So, as I talk about the importance in marriage, in relationships, of how we use our words, I want you to know that there are a lot of times we think that we can just say anything to our spouse and they're supposed to take it, because we have this false belief that if you love me, you will take it. If you love me, you'll stay. If you love me, you should understand, and this is just how it is, or I can't change. All of these are untrue. Like, love doesn't require me to be abused by your words. Love doesn't require me to put up or tolerate being mistreated. That isn't that's not love. I don't know what that is, but that's not love, and it's not a requirement of love to stay in a situation where we're mistreated. If you want to have a beautiful, loving, caring, glorious marriage, I encourage you first to learn how to love yourself. Like, learn how to shut off the mind monsters in your mind that keep you in a place of discouragement, self doubt, hurt, anger, frustration. Because again, it's going to happen to all of us, but how long do you allow it to happen? How often are you abusing yourself with your words? Because here's the thing, the Bible tells us what's in us is what comes out of us. It is not what's out here, it's what's inside. And so if you are able to talk negative to your spouse, to downplay everything they do, to only see the bad in them, It's probably because you only see the bad in yourself. We we literally ha- move through life from our own personal perspective. Like we do not see the world, Covey says, we do not see the world the way it is. We see the world the way we are. And so imagine you're doing that all the time in your relationships. Are you pushing people away because you believe they're going to leave you, they're going to reject you? So you begin the rejection first. Are you leaving situations too fast, or are you, you know, getting arguments with your spouse and you go into these corners and you don't talk to one another because you're so afraid that they're going to say the thing um, to hurt you at such a level because you've been hurt before that you refuse to stay and have that hard conversation. Listen, if you need help with knowing how to communicate effectively with your spouse, there's videos that I have on YouTube with that. There's things, coaching things that I can help you with. There's a whole course that we do where the most important thing we do is to help couples learn to communicate better and more effectively with each other. I'm a Bible girl, and the Bible says, and this is in my book, this is one of day 17 in my book. It says, the wise woman builds her house, but with her own hands, the foolish one tears hers down. Now, mind you, the wise woman can also be the wise man who tears his house down with his mouth. So know that this little thing right here has the ability to produce giants, to produce kings, to foster amazing people, to foster wise, smart inventors and creatives and entrepreneurs. Like we can do that with our mouth, particularly as women, particularly as moms. We have the power in us to shape and create the environment that we desire. But now, if you're in your own way with your soaking, you have been hurt, and so you never dealt with the pain of your past. And so all that's in you is anger and vengeance. But the people that you're truly angry with, because maybe what happened to you happened so long ago, they are not in your house. Who's getting your anger? Who's getting your vengeance? How is that showing up in your current house? Is it producing the love that you say you desire? Is it producing peace in your house? If you have to yell and scream and argue every time to get anything done in your house, that is not the people in your house problem. That's a you problem. If the only way you can get your children or your spouse to do something, clean up, take the trash out, pick up something off the floor, is to go into screaming mode, first and foremost, understand this. We train people how to treat us. So maybe you've created a house where you train the people in the house that the only way that they really need to show up is if you go to yelling and screaming. Like they don't even know that they have the option to do good things unless you yell and scream. Because many times people who operate at that level, whereas yelling and screaming to get everything accomplished, how often do you give compliments? How often do you say, thank you so much for making up your bed today? Thank you so much for washing those dishes without me having to ask. Or even if you ask, just saying thank you. And I know some of you guys run this programming where they should do it. They live here too. Maybe they should. But don't you want to feel appreciated? We yell and scream sometimes because we feel devalued. How about give the thing you desire? If you desire to feel valuable in your marriage, in your relationships with your children, be give value. Say thank you. Say I appreciate you. Say I see you. Say I think you're wonderful. Notice the good things about them so that maybe that will begin to reflect back to you in your own home. I just don't want to see a person who's brilliant and smart and have a kind heart, but don't know how to express the kindness yet because of all the hurt that they have experienced. To have something good and valuable as a marriage, to have something as good and valuable as another person who's decided that they will do life with you, for you to tear that down simply because you never learned how to heal your own stuff, that your mama wounds or your daddy wounds have gone unnoticed for so long, or you thinking I can push it back or forget them, I'm never going to do it like them. But all your actions are a reflection of all your hurt. And because of that, because of the actions of your hurt, you're pushing people away, people that really love you, care about you, who really are invested in you, who really can see how wonderful you are. But maybe you're not seeing it yourself. So just know that everything, I believe, the biggest thing about marriage, the greatest thing about marriage, is that God will use your marriage to heal you of your childhood wounds if you allow it. But I will tell you, if you stay in this mindset, in the space that it is your spouse that is the problem and not you, you're missing all of the lessons. And that mindset, when you're working hard to fix or change your spouse, you're going to fix and change your marriage in a way that you don't want it fixed or changed. Because here's the thing, as a woman, if I can shift and change Andre into something that he's not, I'm going to lose respect for him. So, ladies, if you're trying to change your man into this thing that works more like a woman, that thinks like you, that move like you, you're not going to respect him once he become docile or meek and lowly. You're not going to respect him. So then you've changed him and you beat him down with your words and you've convinced him to be something you think you need, only to not like him. And gentlemen, if you beat your woman down with your words, if you humiliate her, if you take all of her self-esteem, if you take all that she is, all her beauty from her, because you've now attacked her mind, you attacked her soul. I remember being in a room where this gentleman, like this guy was dating a friend of mine. He said something. I said, "You're attacking her character. Don't attack a person's character, the very core of who they are. When you do that, man, when you do that, you would then not honor her. You would then not love her. You may be happy that you got a thing that you can control in your house, but then you would go out and seek another woman who challenges you, who causes you to have to step more into your manhood because you now beat down the woman that's right there in your house that you were supposed to love and adore and cherish and honor the way Christ loved the church. You are to sacrifice yourself for her, not to sacrifice who she is to try to get everything you want. Listen, you really can think your way to a better marriage. You really can change the way you are thinking about life, about yourself, about others, and change your entire world. If you need help with that, that's what I do. My name is Caneisha Berry. I am a relationship mindset coach. And all I do when you work with me, and this is the thing, right? I'm working with a group of people right now, and they are loving it. They like literally, it's amazing that in 3 meetings, they are talking about how much their marriages are changing. But what they are saying is, Caneisha, wow, it's hard to look at myself because we're so busy thinking that the problem is someone else. But I promise you, if the problem is you, here's what's beautiful. If the problem is you, guess who can fix that? You. But if the problem is the other person, can't fix that. So I pray that you have an amazing day. I pray that you create marriages that are built in love, in security, in confidence, and in joy, and in peace. That when people are around you as a couple, they just adore your energy and they want more of that. And so I believe that is when you're reflecting the love of God on this earth, when people see you in your marriage and they adore what they see. So be that married couple. Have an amazing day. Remember, it is your thoughts that is creating your decisions, and your decisions that's leading you to your destiny. Create an amazing destiny for yourself and for your spouse. Thanks for watching.